Energy moves along the path of least resistance. Robert Fritz. When we find ourselves embroiled in conflict, our prefrontal cortex can shut down, putting us in fight, freeze, or flee mode, all of which generate resistance. Again, energy moves along the path of least resistance. In this state, productive conversations often turn into arguments. Arguing for your limitations is often a waste of time and energy. In fact, it is a waste of time and energy. At best, you may achieve compliance, which is not sustainable. However, by adopting a curious approach to conflict, you can reduce resistance and reach mutually beneficial conclusions. This conversational approach for addressing tough topics helps to foster genuine commitment from all parties involved. In this video, I will provide a framework for engaging in tough conversations, effectively addressing the elephant in the room. By following this framework, you will undoubtedly increase your confidence, build positive connections, and create space for future collaboration in the workplace. Welcome to the Agile Leader channel with me, Pia Fitzgerald, where we specialize in providing content to help increase confidence, connection, and collaboration. All right, so to help you see how this framework for having these tough conversations where you're applying curiosity over criticism to have these candid conversations, I'm going to go through a case study so you can see how this plays out. Sarah and John are team members in a marketing department at a mid-sized company. Recently, they had several disagreements about the direction of a major campaign. These conflicts have escalated to the point where it's affecting team morale and productivity. So before the conversation, what is the issue? The issue is disagreements about the direction of a major marketing campaign. Because remember, people are not the problem. The problem is the problem. Number two, what are you afraid of? Well, Sarah fears that the conflict might damage her working relationship with John and disrupt team harmony. John, on the other hand, he's afraid that his ideas will not be taken seriously or that the project might fail if his concerns are not addressed. Number three, set your intentions. Sarah and John both decide to approach the conversation with the goal of finding a solution that benefits the project and maintains their professional relationship. Number four, calm and center yourself. They both take a few moments to breathe deeply and focus on remaining calm and open-minded. 5, determine the right time to discuss. Sarah and John agreed to meet in a neutral space, after their morning team meeting, ensuring they have enough time to talk without interruptions. Picking that location is critical. Make sure it's neutral. During the conversation, practice generous listening. Both Sarah and John commit to listening actively and respectfully to each other's viewpoints. Number 2, honor the 4 agreements by Don Ruiz. Don't take things personally. They remind themselves that the disagreement is about the project and not a personal attack. Be impeccable with your words. They choose their words carefully to avoid misunderstandings and escalation. Make no assumptions. They avoid assuming what the other person is thinking or feeling, and they ask clarifying questions. Always do your best. They commit to being open and honest, doing their best to find that common ground. Number 3, commit to remaining curious instead of critical. Both Sarah and John agreed to ask questions and explore each other's ideas rather than immediately criticizing them. All right, the actual conversation. Here it goes. They identify the issue. So Sarah starts by clearly stating the problem. We've had disagreements about the direction of our campaign and it's affecting our work. Number 2, describe the impact. Sarah explains this conflict is making it hard for me to focus and affecting our team's morale. John adds, I feel the same. It's also causing delays in our project. Now they go on to number 3, which is to share their concerns. Sarah shares, I'm concerned that if we don't resolve this, our campaign will suffer. John responds, I worry that my ideas aren't being considered, and that could lead to a less effective campaign. Number 4, consider the benefits. Sarah asks, what good things could happen if we solve this problem? John replies, well, we could create a stronger campaign and improve our team's collaboration. Number 5, weighing the costs. Sarah notes, if we ignore this issue, it could lead to a failed campaign and more tension in the team. John adds, it could also damage our professional relationship and make future projects difficult. Number 6, understand each other's views. Sarah listens carefully as John explains his perspective and asks questions to understand his concerns better, those clarifying questions. John does the same, ensuring he fully understands Sarah's viewpoint by restating to make sure he understands. Number 7, collaborate to find solutions together. They brainstorm ideas, considering both perspectives, and come up with a plan that incorporates elements from both of their ideas. Number 8, plan action steps. They agree on specific tasks each will take to move the campaign forward and decide to check in regularly to ensure how the plan is working. They agree to keep communicating. They also agree on how to handle disagreements should they arise again. Excellent work, Sarah and John. Number 9, foster a healthy relationship. They agree to keep communication open and address issues promptly, don't let them fester, to maintain a positive working relationship. And then 10, express your feelings. Sarah shares, this problem made me feel frustrated and worried about our team's success. John expresses, I felt undervalued and concerned that my contributions weren't appreciated. Now, mind you, I said before, it was a bonus about sharing your feelings. Notice though, in this case study, in this scenario, they were able, once they came to a solution, they were able to share their feelings and to have their feelings validated. So that's another way to look at this. So after the conversation, number 1, express gratitude internally and externally. Both thank each other for their openness and willingness to resolve the issue. Number 2, reflect on your use of expansive listening. Sarah and John reflect on how listening to each other's viewpoints help them understand the issue better and find a solution. 3, celebrate the work. They acknowledge the progress they've made in resolving their conflict and the positive impact it will have on their campaign and team dynamics. Yay, Sarah and John! A couple things I want to highlight in this case study. Some questions I want to ask you, just kind of look at some solutions. Number 1, how did adopting a curious mindset help Sarah and John resolve their conflict? Based upon what you heard, what stood out for you? What stood out for me is that adopting a curious mindset allowed Sarah and John to explore each other's ideas without judgment. So that cuts down on that resistance, so that energy can move forward, so the energy to come to a solution. So this led to that collaborative solution. Curiosity leads to collaboration, folks. Number 2, think about this question. What benefits did they experience by focusing on the problem rather than the personal differences? By focusing on the problem, they were able to separate personal feelings from the issue, making it easier to find common ground because, again, energy moves on the path of least resistance, making it easier to collaborate and come to a solution, find common ground. Number 3, how did practicing generous listening and following the 4 agreements contribute to a positive outcome? Generous listening and the 4 agreements help create a respectful and open dialogue, reducing tension and fostering mutual understanding. Number 4, in what ways did expressing gratitude, which does something for your soul, and reflecting on the conversation help reinforce their new approach to conflict management? Expressing gratitude and reflecting on the conversation reinforce the positive behavior and set the stage for continued collaboration and trust. By applying the principles of curiosity over criticism, Sarah and John were able to transform a potentially divisive conflict into an opportunity for growth and collaboration. Their commitment to open dialogue, empathy, and continuous learning not only resolved their immediate issue, but also strengthened their professional relationship. This case study illustrates how embracing a curious mindset can enhance confidence, connection, and collaboration on any team. By fostering a culture of respect and understanding, you can create a more cohesive, innovative, and resilient workplace where conflicts are seen as opportunities for improvement rather than obstacles. It just takes commitment and consistency to the process. Woo! All right, folks. Gonna leave you with a chuckle. Why did the honest pencil always get in trouble? Because it couldn't help but draw things exactly as they were. All right, thank you for listening, folks, watching to the end. I would appreciate you liking. Would love it if you would share this with someone. And I would so appreciate it if you would subscribe. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. Thank you, and have a winning week. Bye-bye.